Okay, so we have talked about sequencing translations, and we have talked about sequencing translations and reflections, and then sequencing just reflections. And anytime you see this word sequencing, that means doing more than one, putting them in order. Okay, so in lesson 9, we're going to sequence rotation. So we're going to start with A here. It says rotate triangle ABC D degrees around center D. Okay, so this is positive. So that means we're going to go counterclockwise, and then we're going to label it A prime, B prime, C prime. So our center is D, so you got to make sure you trace the center and then trace the figure. I always try to stay inside so I can maintain the shape of the figure because rotations preserve length of segments and angle measures. Okay, and I'm going to rotate it D degrees. Now, this would just be moving it something like this. You can move it as much or as little as you want. It does not specify how much, so you can move it as much or as little as you want. So then I would just put it underneath, line up my center of rotation. So the center has to line up when you're rotating it. You must line your center of rotation up. And I'm going to move it a little bit more so I can see it out there in the open. You can move yours as much or as little as you want, and then I'm going to trace along the outside. Just like that. Now, when I rotate this, this becomes A prime, B prime, C prime. Okay? So we rotated it one time. Then it says rotate triangle A prime, B prime, C prime, D degrees around center E. So now I'm going to rotate what I drew around this center. Okay, so I'm going to get this out. I could have probably left that. Okay, center of rotation. You always have to copy that one, and then I'm going to trace what I drew on the inside. That way I can do that. Then I'm just going to rotate it again, as much or as little as you want. Okay, and actually this might be a little difficult, so I'm going to move this. Okay, I'm going to put it right here, and I'm going to trace it again. It was going to be difficult because my paper is still stapled, so when I put it underneath it will be hard to do. So I'm going to move this over here. Okay, I got to line up my center of rotation and rotate the paper. Okay, I'm lined up here, and then I'm just going to draw the outside here. And then it told us to label it A prime prime, B prime prime, C prime prime. So A prime prime, B prime prime, C prime prime. C says measure and label the angles and lengths of the sides. Okay. So I'm going to just measure it real quick for you. I'm going to use this protractor. So I'm going to use the centimeters. 5.5, 5.5, 5.5 roughly. You got to keep your lengths the best you can. 2, 2, 2, 4, 4, 4. So if I also measured the angles, okay, they would be the same measurement. So angle A here would be the same as angle A prime and angle A prime prime. The same with B and the same with C. So down here, we're going to write measures of corresponding sides and measures of corresponding angles of the triangles are equal. Okay, and when it says measures of corresponding sides, that just means side AB, A prime, B prime, A prime prime, B prime prime. Corresponding angles, angle A prime, angle A prime prime. So it just means it's the same one in all three of the triangles. How can you explain what you observed in part C? What statement can you make about properties of sequence of rotation? So, we know that a rotation preserves angle, measures, and segment lengths. When we sequence rotations, that means when we do multiple or more than one, that the segment lengths and angle measures remain the same as well. Okay, so here we go on number 2A. Rotate triangle ABC D degrees around center D, then rotate it D degrees around center E. Label the image as A prime, B prime, C prime after you've done both. Okay, so first around D. Okay, so we've got this, and we're going to rotate it around D. Just like that, somewhere. Now, again, it's positive, so we're going counterclockwise. Line it up, put it down, trace it. So A prime, B prime, C prime. Oh, no, not that. We got to take that, and now we're going to rotate it around center E. Okay, so then we're going to rotate it again somehow. Okay, So we're going to put it underneath. We're going to trace it again. And now we label it A prime, B prime, C prime. So you can move it twice, the first time around center D, the second time around center E. So this says, can a single rotation around D map A prime, B prime, C prime back here? So that means, can we do this and get it back onto the gray one? If we put this on there and rotate it around D, can we get it to where it goes back onto the original? No. A single rotation around D will not undo the transformation. So around center D will not map triangle A prime, B prime, C prime onto triangle A, B, C. Then a single rotation around E. Okay, so if we go with E, I guess I should line it up. If we hold it there and we rotate it, there is not one single rotation that will map A prime, B prime, C prime back onto A, B, C. So, no, a single rotation around center E will not map triangle A prime, B prime, C prime onto triangle A, B, C. Okay, so can you find a center that would map triangle ABC onto A prime, B prime, C prime? Okay, there could be a way to do this, and it would just be trial and error. Okay, one way that you just put it here and hold it down. This is too far. Okay, so I hold it here, and I could do it. About maps it back onto there. Okay, so there is a way. So my F would be about right here. To do this, but it is going to be just trial and error to figure out about where it would be. Okay, so this would be yes, a D degree rotation about center F will map triangle A prime, B prime, C prime onto triangle A, B, C. Okay, so it'll it won't be the points given. It'll be somewhere in between your shapes, and you'll just have to trial and error it. Let's look at 3. Okay, so here we're going to rotate an exact amount. Okay, and let's talk about this real quick. Okay, your transparency, or sorry, your sheet protector, okay, makes a 90-degree angle up here. So if I turn it to where the top is on the right side, like this, that's a 90-degree rotation. Or sorry, that's negative 90. Okay, if I turn it from here to the left, that is a positive 90-degree rotation. Okay, so you have to use your paper to help you make this rotation. Okay, so we're going to rotate triangle ABC 90 degrees clockwise around center D, and then rotate it another 90 degrees counterclockwise around E. So D and E, and then we're going to label it after we've done that. So D, you always mark your center, and then I would just turn it like this. Okay, and it would end up there somewhere close to E. Then you would put it, let me mark that darker, underneath. And draw it. Okay, and then we're going to go back to this, and now we're going to rotate it another 90 around point E. So it would look like this. Okay. Ooh. And I have to tear this apart. Lordy mercy. If I can do this. Okay, line it up. Trace it again. And then this would be A prime, B prime, C prime. Okay, and then we're going to have to do the same thing around E, and then F. So we're changing the order. So we're still sticking with E, and we're going to trace our shape. Okay, we're going to rotate it 90 degrees. So it's going to be somewhere here. Okay, so we'll put it underneath. And then this time we're going to trace it. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing around D. So then again, 90 degrees. And what happens is when you do that, the 90 degrees, it ends up going off of the page, which is okay. That's how this is supposed to work. Okay, so I'm going to line up D. I'm going to draw this part that actually lands on the page. This would be A prime prime, B prime prime, and C prime prime would end up off of the page. What do you notice about the location of triangle A prime, B prime, C prime, and triangle A prime prime, B prime prime, C prime prime? Does the order in which you rotate a figure around different centers have an impact on the final location? Okay, so A, triangle A prime, I don't want to use that color. Triangle A prime, B prime, C prime, and triangle A prime prime, B prime prime, C prime prime are in different locations. The order in which we rotate a figure around different centers of rotation has an impact on the final location of the figure's image. Okay. I would like you to try to do 4 on your own and then check it with me, and then do 5 on your own and check it with me. And then I want you to pay attention here to the lesson summary. Okay, we talked about things in boxes being very important. Okay, sequence of rotations have the same property as a single rotation. They preserve the angle measures and they preserve segment lengths. The order in which you rotate something around different centers does make a difference on the final figure, the location of the final figure. Okay. And then this last one is the one that you'll do on 4. Okay. If you have any questions, make sure you come and see me.